Well, unfortunately, Tyler, your position kind of feels like a position I've took multiple times. They call me the old man. So yeah, Tyler, you got old, baby.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. And I love this. I loved when Low got old. He was the internet guy screaming at me. Then he got old and started screaming at young people. It's great. It's phenomenal to still sit here and see y'all age in this game and really be able to articulate what it feels like when people come in the game in a way that feels inauthentic. Mm-hmm. Rap Life Review, Eddie in LA, Low on the couch. I'm Ebro, and we come to you every week to talk about the goings-ons in hip-hop, rap. It's from Rap Life, and that's why it's Rap Life Review. Shout out to Apple Music. We gotta get through the albums first. You wanna get to Michael Rubin, apologizing. He was on the Breakfast Club over talking. Meek Mill tweeting. Also, you was at Fanatics Fest. I was at Fanatics Fest. It was a great time over here in New York City.
Yep.
Tyler, the Creator. We got to get into that. I did not see Complex's list ranking the 50 best Atlanta rappers of all time. Did anybody see this list?
I did. I looked at it, yes.
All right, so we'll get into that. And then we want to say RIP to Beat King.
Yes.
Passed away, 39 years old. Club Godzilla out here. It was confirmed on social media by his manager, Tasha Felder. Beat King, he's been the best part of the clubs for a long time, and a lot of people loved him down in Houston, and we just want to say rest in peace.
Yes.
For the albums out and the singles out, Chance the Rapper, Joey Pert, Big Chicago Movement. Mm-hmm. Chance has been putting out a number of singles. It feels like Chance is trying to reestablish himself after a consistent kind of slow period over the last few years.
Downfall.
You're going all the way to downfall.
It was.
It was.
It was.
Like, I'm sure he could admit that. This is really just a clean observation. The music wasn't hitting. The music wasn't gratifying.
Well, it was one major. It was the album, bro. That big day. It RIP'd his career at the time. It derailed everything.
Now the whole that was the whole big day was the marriage and
I Love My Wife album.
And,
yeah.
And what was the problem here? It was because
whack. It was whack. It was whack. It was a whack ass album. Like it is what it. I said it when at the time people were trying to defend it. But you know what? It's unfair though, if we're just being honest. Like how many people have released? Because let's be clear, Chance was the first ever Grammy Award winner from a mixtape. Like he changed the game. Like he had an iconic stint in music, and everyone loved Chance. He released one whack album, and everyone just completely turned on him, which is kind of crazy. Like it's what we kind of do in internet culture right now.
Well,
where
I just want to add, I'm glad you said internet culture, because I was going to say a lot of the fanfare around Chance early on came from him being independent. Mm-hmm. He was big on the internet. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of those live by it, die by it situations.
Yeah,
when you don't, develop in real life fans, and your whole thing is based on perception on the internet.
A persona
That could also tear you down. I also think it was a bit of an inside job, if I'm being all the way honest, because you ever notice that this started right around the time he distanced himself from his manager.
Okay.
And, we'll talk about this more on this episode, and I think you're gonna see a lot about it. But what takes place on the internet, for better or for worse, for an artist or for whatever you're seeing, is often paid for by like bots, and you can pay for like influencers and these things to attack and tear things down. How do I know? Well, because when I didn't like Tekashi 6ix9ine, right, I noticed that there was like a bot farm of Tekashi bots that were constantly in my comments, because I thought Tekashi was an industry plant. I thought he was a fraud, and I thought he was terrible. And the whole city of New York was like, oh, but his YouTube views and da-da-da-da. And I was like, wow, like, y'all really just looking at numbers on a page, but y'all don't hear that this is not good music, and y'all don't hear that there's not a lot of talent here, and y'all don't see that who are these people talking? And then now all of a sudden, if these was real people,
right,
they would still be on me. Same thing happens with Drake.
Didn't that get confirmed? I don't know if it was him that confirmed it or somebody in his camp, or if it came out. Wasn't it kind of confirmed that he was paying bots or like internet farms or streams or something like that?
I don't know if the artists do it, or the people financing them do it, right? But I'm just saying it happens.
No, that's usually part
relating that to Chance. I feel like a lot of the energy that went against Chance happened right when he distanced himself from the manager.
So you think that they put those people up to trash Big Day and kind of just like separate
and create
themselves.
a narrative around Chance, as you guys said, like a fall off.
Yeah.
Right?
But wasn't it? So can't two things be true at the
Both
same
could
time?
be true.
Yeah.
But it felt like
Because
to
I
Eddie's
never
point,
I never saw it like that. I never had it from that perspective of like it was an inside job that people were hired to really like purposely tear that project
but
down.
to Eddie's point, it was overstated. You got Chance who puts out how many projects that are heralded, and then all of a sudden one album and it's over. Meanwhile, you got the verse on Ultralight Beam, you got Bro doing Lion King, you got Bro doing all of these things beyond music, taking it farther.
So like that doesn't mean because everything he's doing outside of the music has to connect. Maybe the music just did not connect.
No, I'm saying that that's a bad project. I can say that can be true.
Yeah.
But I can also say, where are your real fans that loved all of the other shit, right? And now all of a sudden, all of those people turned on you?
Does it mean they have to like that shit too?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying basically, where are they, right?
Okay,
Bro's
so-
dropping 1, 2, 3, 4 singles right now, right? And I feel like the narrative made almost his fan base not come out, because that happens on social media too, where when bullying starts to take place and bots start to attack you on social media, your fans or people who would normally support you are like, yo, I don't feel like arguing on social media with whoever these people are to come attack you. It's like remember the whole J. Cole narrative?
Yeah.
What was
Right,
that?
like there was a whole J. Cole's boring thing. Remember that whole thing with J. Cole?
I mean, well,
and I would be
that's-
like, yo, this is like,
That's still kind of a thing.
right, but I feel like it would created it was created and then people latch onto it. People who normally wouldn't be that emotional or pick sides, I feel like the bots push a narrative and then people either jump on or fight against. And then I feel like people who are real people, they don't really want to argue on the internet with bots.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, no one wants to argue with any kind of bot. It could be sports, movies, whatever the case is, politics. All that shit is like it exists in every capacity.
all I'm saying is I feel like these negative narratives are created, especially when they're trying to attack an individual.
Yeah, but
think-
you
hold on,
also
hold on,
gotta
hold
look
on,
at like
hold on,
when you're engaging with these motherfuckers, go to the profile. If there's no real picture, if the number, if the
nobody
follow
doing
all
all
that,
that,
like,
bro.
bro, I'm just,
but
I like to argue and debate online. Like,
Chance's situation was different. And the reason why his was different is once you get labeled corny, like you can say J. Cole's music, whatever. It's kind of in the sports, I compare it to a Russell Wilson thing. Like when Russell Wilson's fine when he's winning Super Bowls and he's doing all that other stuff, but there was always that corny label, but he was winning. The second Russell Wilson started stinking up the place, there was nothing he could do to recover. It was always he's corny, he sucks, he's this. And Chance always walked the fine line because he was a positive rapper. A lot of his things, his music was inspired by like gospel, growing up in church, the whole Holy Trinity with the number 3. So he always had that corny thing happening. The music was always good, so people let it slide. Once he slipped off and he had that corny label, fair or not, people just rolled with it. And unfortunately for him, he was never able to get back to where he was. And the difference being is because he always was perceived to be a little corny to some people.
Being positive, getting married, being happy. Terrible guy, man. What a
yes,
having beautiful children.
Yes. Didn't they get divorced?
They got
He did.
divorced, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
now,
no,
now maybe he'll be hot again. He got problems again.
You see McCarabana up
When he was smoking cigarettes and doing acid,
Bro,
y'all
you
loved
got-
him.
yes,
Soon as he
like,
try to do the right thing for his life.
Anytime somebody is a train wreck, anytime somebody is going through trials and tribulations, anytime someone is an addict, this, that, and the third, the music is great. They love a story that they can cheer for, and like, yeah, he's gonna get clean. And when they finally get clean, when that person finally stops holding around and gets married and does this, that, and the third, music sucks. Personality is awful because we don't want to see anybody happy. That has happened over time,
does happen
and
a lot.
it continuously happens.
It used to
Does
happen to Mary J.
happen a
Blige.
Continuously
They were
happens.
like,
Mary J.
Mary J.
Blige is
is
the
right
perfect
there.
example, bro. The
Mary J.
perfect
Blige.
example.
Everybody want cigarette
Nah, yo,
smoking Hennessy, Mary
yeah.
J. Blige. Well, probably.
I need you to be dating Casey, doing this, doing
Yeah.
that.
Nah, man.
I'm going
man.
down,
Yo,
and
we're
as soon as my
terrible.
world comes, or whatever the other ones, I don't want to hear this dancery shit.
Michael Rubin was right.
oh, no.
I knew that would catch y'all. We're going to cover that story in a minute. Yeah, and by the way, he was right. Wrong messenger, but he was right. Big Sean put out a record with The Alchemist. Shout out to Big Sean. Happy life, happy wife. You know what I'm saying? I love the On Up video, which is from the perspective of Noah the baby.
baby, yeah.
I love this Alchemist record. Y'all don't seem excited.
No, I know exactly what you're doing. Like
What?
that was a beautiful thread.
Yeah, the
was a
narrative that he's happy now and all that.
That was a beautiful thread.
Yeah, because they
But
trying
I'm
to get
gonna see how y'all act now.
I like the records. Big Sean can spit. Big Sean, like that's my guy. I fuck with him. But yeah, that's another one that might get labeled as corny, happy, this, that, and the third. But the records are fucking fire. So regardless of what you think about them.
So, but it's a good study, right? If you're saying the records are fire, will the whole narrative shift where it's like, yo, bro, anybody want to see your happy life and your beautiful wife and your amazing child and your parents in the backyard and you being a positive black man?
No.
What people don't
Because they
want you-
already have a problem with Big Sean as is.
Who
the
does?
quotes the other day, like why he's not married. The internet kind of.
I mean, not even aside from that. It's just like the music. Like sometimes, like his bars overstretch, or he's too wordy in his delivery.
He's doing the same thing you always been doing, bro.
And that's been a problem for a long time. That's been a narrative with Big Sean, whether you like it or not. Like that's
Go ahead, Eddie.
they nitpick at that for a lot of things.
And also too, we don't got to make it a bigger deal than what it really is. Like you only have like this long to really be hot, fam. And some artists have the ability to stretch it and have prolonged careers. And the perception with Big Sean to a lot of people is he's outside of this super hot window. But that does not exclude the fact that he had a great career. He's continuing to make great music. And the beauty
Well, and I love
now
the fact that he's doing records with Larry June and and Alchemist, and he's doing the underground thing too, and he's being a pure MC. And I think that's something else that people need to study, is he's not chasing mainstream. He's just doing dope rap records for the rap community.
The biggest thing that he said, I think this was during his Charlamagne the God interview, he was like, I know I've been inconsistent. I know I'm inconsistent with releasing music, and if I wasn't, we'd probably be having a different conversation. It's it's the stop and go that Big Sean has, and when he can admit that himself, it kind of hesitates. It kind of stifles your creativity. It stifles you being mentioned in conversations with your other peers, because one day you're here, and then for the next 3 years you're gone.
But so there's consistency, which has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
There's consistently good, right? Whether it's, because who's determining, like, and that's the thing that always confuses me about the whole consistency convo. Like, who sets that standard, right?
But the artist, he sets it. He's setting it himself. Not
Right, but he's saying I haven't been consistent relative to whom?
I guess to everyone, like
To Drake, who you up here complaining every week, he need to go sit down.
First off, I didn't say it was a problem. I said Big Sean admitted.
No, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying the stat.
Yeah, because the quality of the consistency is dwindling down. That's why
Big Sean.
No, for Drake. That's why I need to sit his ass down.
But Big Sean, he doesn't. Even Detroit too, and I think that was like in 2020. It's a great album, bro.
No, it's fire.
But
it is.
But the good news is what Ebro said is, you don't have to be the hottest rapper in the world. You don't have to be top 10. You don't have to be top 20. Big Sean can have a lasting career and have legitimate fans because he organically,
I'm
grew his fan
not
base.
saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't.
We're pretty much all saying the same thing, fam. Like, he's not gonna be the biggest rapper in the world, but he keeps releasing good music, and that should be okay with us. But that's not how we look. We're stuck in this weird metric system of the hottest rapper alive and this and this and this. And Big Sean might just be in a different phase where, you know what, if he just stayed Larry June, like Larry June's never the highest selling rapper, but we always like his albums. And he's gonna be consistent. Currency. He's gonna be consistent. He's gonna be
But
good.
those guys were never known for like those kind of numbers and those kind of records.
Big Sean had those moments, but I
That's what
think
I'm
he's
saying.
settling into his next phase of his career,
That's
which could
what I'm
have more
saying.
longevity than chasing chart position. I think that's what we're saying. Like, there's more longevity and better mental health and more control of your finances and not having to do stupid deals when you do things for the art instead of trying to do things for the chart.
Yeah, I don't think he was saying
Bars.
I wanted to do things for the chart, which he's always done shit for the art. I think he's saying that no matter what kind of music it is, he's saying I think I lack the consistency of whatever I want to make. I'm just not consistently doing it. I never really looked at it like that. He's the one that's admitting it. So that's something that he's already observed from his point of view.
Also out YG. YG got a new album, Just Read Up 3. It's actually a 2-part album. One is more like, feels like clubs and ladies, and one is for the streets. It's like 2 10-song pieces that he put out. It's number 6 on the top album.
And didn't he just drop an album like maybe a month ago?
He said, okay, so I listened to the album with YG last week, and he says he's playing a different game now in music where he's dropping stuff, man. Because this is what we want from art. It's weird because we had these conversations.
The consistency combo.
It's the consistent thing, and this is how we consume music now. Like if you are
I don't
not
know if
dropping
it's a
stuff,
we. I'm not in the we, bro. I'm not there with y'all.
in the broader scope, it's just the reality of it.
No, it's the machine. So the machine of streaming services, including Apple, you know, the way it's talked about by hip hop pundits who are every week looking for a new headline and something to talk about, has generated a thing where everyone's chasing. I don't even know what they're chasing, to be honest with you. They're just chasing
Who's they?
artists,
okay.
record labels, streaming services.
Is it relevancy and therefore money, currency? Is that what they're
Yeah,
chasing?
I think that's what it is. And
Yeah.
constantly having your brand in the forefront of the convo, right? Because you have someone like Drake who sets the pace, right?
Taylor Swift on the other side of things, because it's not just a hip hop
who's
thing.
setting
yeah.
the pace of, like, you know, constantly dropping, constantly on tour, and everybody thinks that's what they have to do.
You don't see that as a problem?
I do, yes.
Yeah, okay.
It
I
is
don't
an
like
issue. It's an
It's
issue.
becoming an issue.
But this is media now, bro. This is the issue we're
I
having.
don't know if I think to Lowe's point, and I think we'll see a change in the coming months, it's not sustainable.
Like,
it's
you
not sustainable
can't.
for anyone involved. The only people who I guess are benefiting are like the platforms who are constantly, people are coming to try, but I don't even know if that's true. Maybe the advertisers who run ads on the YouTubes and whoever, maybe they benefit from the constant. But I think
it's the overlap, bro. And this is not just towards Drake. This is like just pretty much everything that gets released every Friday. Like, I don't know, you said like 113,000 songs.
No, I think it's like 200,000.
And that's daily. That's
That's
not just
daily.
Day.
That's every
daily.
It's not sustainable.
But also too,
And it's
I
like,
think
I don't.
That's why you see and there's a different convo. That's why you see the labels laying mad people off.
Well,
Keep
isn't
it
it
real.
part of the artists aren't making money the same, so they kind of have to do this? Isn't this part of it?
I think there's too many artists.
It's too many artists,
And you
too
know,
many
I
songs.
make jokes all the time. Y'all wanted no gatekeepers. Y'all wanted everyone to have access. You wanted everybody gets to be a rapper. Everybody gets to. It's what you get. There's no quality control. There's no. It's just have at it, fam.
And then who's to blame for that, though?
Who's to blame? I don't know if it's all of us. It's the
Everybody,
whole,
so it's all our fault?
It's the whole entertainment machine. I mean,
Yeah,
even,
we're part
but
of
by
it.
the
We're
way,
part
this
of the
isn't
machine.
just affecting music either.
No, that's
it's affecting all content.
all kinds of entertainment.
Movies,
Yeah.
everything.
TV
Where it's just
shows,
TV
yeah.
shows where you open
even
up trying to
concerts.
watch a TV show, you don't even know what
the
to
fuck
watch.
to watch.
You don't know what's
We're-
good.
yeah.
Things are done shoddy just to like keep, you know, fueling the machine.
Yeah.
It's a problem. And you know, we've been in a phase now where there's like basically there's only 3 labels. There's Sony, Warner,
It's 3.
And Universal.
Universal. That's
Yeah.
it. And the head of Warner is formerly of YouTube.
And
then
Universal's Lucy Green and his son.
Boss son is the head of Warner.
And y'all was mad at Bronny James. Look at that.
Who's who?
They was mad at
Because
Bronny.
I love a Nepo baby. I just don't like that shit over there, but I love what Bronny.
You like a black Nepo baby.
Yeah, I like a black Nepo baby.
We deserve it. We earned it.
That's right. Talk to
Yeah,
him.
we never got our 40 acres and a mule. Let us get something. Shout out to Bronny.
Another album we got to shout out. Speaking of consistency, Gucci Mane.
That boy.
Gucci, how many albums Gucci Mane got in his whole
Probably
catalog?
Probably like
50? 100?
Probably
I
mixtapes
can't-
and
I
everything.
can't keep up.
Everything.
I can't.
Gotta be in the hundreds.
Gotta
That's
be in the
all
hundreds.
Gucci do is make music.
I can't keep up. Maybe it's his fault.
You think it's it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's either Gucci or Wayne. Because mixtape Wayne early YouTube was, bruh.
Nah, but see, Gucci was just dropping projects
flooding
out the
us.
fucking
Flooding
sky.
us.
Like at a moment's notice, you could blink and go to a mixtape store or go to a mixtape website, and it's like 5 new ones. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fam, where do you get the bandwidth to do all this shit? But then Wayne shit was ended up on the radio. Wayne shit was ended up on albums. Wayne shit was just like the
But it was still like nonstop.
Yeah, but shout out
Yeah.
to Gucci. We ain't dogging Gucci. Like,
No, we're not dogging. Yeah, we ain't
They did it
dogging
at a
Gucci.
time when it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
They shifted the game.
Yeah.
But now that the game has basically been ran through,
Yeah.
People need a new strategy. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, of course. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed it back like during the blog era, and
It's really the blog era's fault. It's really people like Low who made it their whole business to start websites where every day they were looking for new music. It's really him.
And you know where we got that shit from? Mixtape DJs. The Clues, the K-Slaves.
That was like once a month.
Nah, Clue was dropping every week. Let's not do that.
I mean, there was a run.
Clue was dropping every week.
Shout out DJ Drama.
So if you want to blame, I was emulating them.
This is a DJ
You was trying to be like
I was trying to be like Clue, K-Slave. No.
It's really DJ Drama's fault.
DJ Drama.
I was trying to be like Drama. That's why we started the website.
This is a snake eating his tail. Like we're complaining about a monster that we all helped create.
That's right.
Yeah. What's that called? An Ouroboros? Ouroboros? What's that word
putting
called?
us on. I don't know.
What the fuck? That's not
Ouroboros.
vehicle.
Someone say it in the comments. Y'all tell me.
Speaking of blaming people, Tyler, the creator's really pissed.
I'm on his side too.
Tell us what he's talking about.
Tyler did an interview with Mav Carter on the Mavericks series, and he addressed
shout out to
bunch of shout out to Bron and all them.
Yo, y'all not getting enough money over there, Mav. You gotta do interviews too, bro. Can we have a job?
I know, right? The other homie
now
get
that we
married to
talking
a
about
Dale.
shit falling apart, everybody got an interview. Everybody got a show. Everybody.
Shannon Sharp, we coming for you next.
That is true.
We ain't gonna have no jobs.
So anyway, back to Tyler.
So Tyler addressed a couple of issues. One being Ian is an artist that Boo has signed.
Boo, Akon's brother.
Akon's brother.
Shout to Boo.
And Tyler was just, making some points about how Ian is cosplaying black artists, mocking black artists, basically taking up room for artists like him and musicians that actually, make good music and take it serious and, pay homage to the people that came before him. And Boo got word of it. Boo said, yo, Felicia, go. I signed in and I'm from Atlanta. He sounds nothing like Gucci or Future. It's called influence, but I never thought I'd see the day where you become old and hate on the youth. Laugh out loud. Question to the both of y'all. Is that hate or is that just being very transparent and honest and seeing what we all are observing?
Well, unfortunately, Tyler, your position kind of feels like a position I've took multiple times. They call me the old man. So yeah, Tyler, you got old, baby.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. And I love this. I loved when Low got old. He was the internet guy screaming at me. Then he got old and started screaming at young people. It's great. It's phenomenal to still sit here and see y'all age in this game and really be able to articulate what it feels like when people come in the game in a way that feels inauthentic. And that's really what Tyler's saying. Because I don't think Tyler would say that about Mac Miller.
Wow, he didn't.
I don't think he would say that about Eminem.
Nope. He made that very clear too.
He said that about those two.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not looking at them like I'm looking at Ian.
Right. But people did say that about Eminem. And people did say that about Mac Miller. So it's really your frame of reference for what's going on. Right? So I'm not familiar with the artist Ian, so I can't really comment. But I've definitely felt that way where it feels like you're coming in the game and not paying respect. But you're coming in a game in a way that feels like you're just taking advantage of. It's a cash grab.
Speaking of like Post Malone.
So yeah, I felt that way about Post Malone.
Yeah, same.
Early on when I saw White Iverson, I was like, I don't know what this is. And it ain't that fire to me. Now, has Post Malone had records that I like? Absolutely. Is he a nice guy? Yes. But now he's making a country album. He didn't even hang around long. He didn't even stay in hip hop long enough. He was like, yep, got my bread. Pew! I'm out of here.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus did that shit too.
And that takes me to the next point. The next point of that is the reason Tyler or black folks feel that way is because black people often get put in boxes. You either have to be R&B or you have to be hip hop. Case in point, Beyonce goes out and make a pop country album and everybody's like, whoa, wait, hang on. You're not supposed to be over here. Same thing happens to white artists when they show up in hip hop and R&B. We go, wait, hold on. What exactly are you doing? Because there's a lack of trust.
Do we though? Because here's the difference.
No. Because no.
Let me not say we, me.
Okay, but
did you do that with Justin Timberlake? Because when he did
those albums. So the Justin Timberlake thing, just to be clear, There was an interview I had with Pharrell many years ago where I specifically asked Pharrell, I said, why are you giving these records and making these records for Justin Timberlake and not making them for a black artist? And he said, because it's more special when it happens on Justin Timberlake because the audience doesn't expect that from Justin. But we saw Justin in NSYNC beatboxing. They made a record, I think Gone, what was the record? Gone that NSYNC made was an ill R&B record.
Made a record with the Clips.
And then the Clips jumped on records and then that started to go. So the entry point was kind of like Justin Timberlake, we knew he was talented, knew he could sing, and it went in that fashion. So I just think sometimes it's how you meet a person too. Right?
Because then like after the whole 2020 experience thing, he does Man in the Woods and goes over there. And that kind of fell flat on its face. And then came back over here and did the last album he just did, and now like people were like, oh, now you want to come back over here when that other shit ain't working.
But it's a bigger systemic issue. It's like anything that has anything to do with color, specifically in this country. It's not just who says what and who lines up on what side of it. There's a systemic issue where a white artist like Justin Timberlake can make essentially an R&B album. Some of those records, Pharrell did try to give he tried to give them to Michael Jackson. Like he tried to give him the black artist, and Michael Jackson, whatever, didn't want it. Justin Timberlake ends up with it. But Justin still will get to go in the pop category, and he still will get resources that black artists are not allotted to by being R&B.
Yeah.
From the label, from the jump, from labeling, from everything. Whereas an artist like, pick a random R&B artist. If Lucky Day tomorrow decide I'm going to make a pop album, it will not be labeled pop. It will still be labeled R&B, and therefore the label will give him R&B money and resources. It becomes a systemic issue. So somebody like us can be like, hey, I have an issue with this artist being in a black space, and it doesn't matter because the bigger labels, distributors, and everything else will still allot them the same white resources. Be mad at me if you want to. That's what happens.
Well, and the truth of the matter is the economics of it. When you look at the way this racialized, commercialized, racialized nation is based on consumerism, there are a lot of consumers who will buy a white artist because they're white. 60% of the population is white. And so when you package up music that they love, which is R&B and hip hop, with a white face, it tends to go farther because there's more people to purchase it.
It's a more relatable thing. I don't have to be scared. Not relatable. Okay, let me not say that. It's just something that looks like me.
It's a story in the time,
It's a story of
bro.
American music. It's American music. That's what it is. Like, we're not talking about nothing new.
Yeah, I know.
This is literally jazz, rock and roll, R&B, house music, which is dance music. It's all gospel, fucking R&B as it stands now. All American music is black music at some point in time that we kind of remixed to make black music. White people saw it and was like, oh, snap, that's tight. And then because when a white person sees it, they can relate to it. And this isn't necessarily, if we say this, they're gonna be like, you're being racist. We're not being racist. It's actually understandable. It's actually like you see somebody that looks like you can relate to it. 60% of y'all are like, oh, tight, Elvis. But then the issue that black people end up having is not
you didn't like it when you didn't want to buy us making it, but you want to buy them or yourself making it. That's the issue.
And it's erasure.
But that is the racial component. That is the racist component of it. And I don't give a fuck if people get in their feelings about it because we live in a country, be mad at your forefathers, who designed this to be racialized. We didn't pick that. We just have to figure out how to survive in it.
Maneuver,
all of that. Yep. So back to what Tyler's saying, I think Tyler, who I've known since he was very young in the game, has now traveled the world, had tons of success, built a brand, got to see buying habits, got to build all the things that he built, and is seeing it and going, yo, not only do I see historically what Eddie just pointed out, because Tyler's a student of music and has been studying it, but I think, now is at a point in his career where he's like, wait, time out.
Yeah,
and once again, I haven't heard the Ian artist.
We saw the videos.
The fact that he's saying it sounds like Gucci Mane means that he's using vernacular mannerisms and the music of a Southern rap legend. Is that and
that's where Boo was like, it's called influence. He was like, he doesn't sound like Gucci, doesn't sound like Future. It's just called influence. But still, when you have influence, it's still like you
But
do
it's
sound
important.
like.
But it's important to note, going back to the economic side, Boo knows that white boys is gonna buy this shit, and that's why he signed him
There's
to
a whole
run it up
Atlanta
the
episode.
chart.
Whole Atlanta episode of just this. Exactly this.
I listen to the song and
What he has multiple. He has multiple songs.
No,
that I've
yeah. I
heard
mean,
of.
I listened to like the one that I think Tyler was talking about. I don't see it. But again, I guess I'm looking at it from Tyler's lens about what the fuck is this? Let's press stop. How is this getting through the crack hole? Like where does this exist? Where does this
Well,
belong?
and if by the way, if they put the right machine behind it and the YouTube views are going crazy and they're cutting the checks, you're gonna start to see collaborations with all of the rappers to give him all of the credibility and all
They
that.
always do.
And so then
They
people are
always do.
gonna. And by the way, once again, I'm saying I haven't listened to the kid. I haven't even seen the video.
Yeah.
But I already know that if the money's looking right and the streams are looking right and the metrics are looking right and the right label people are behind it, you can see all your favorite rappers lined up to do a collabo.
Can I tell a secret? So industry stuff happens all the time, and we get privy to certain information. I've seen it behind the scenes. I've seen people like, yo, this Ian, like, yo, it's great, man. Huh? Look, it's funny. And you'd be like, yo, what?
That's white people. That's white people talking to you like that.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
thought it
it.
was like some black dude.
So now,
I've seen it.
shout to Lil
Like
Dicky.
months ago.
By the way, shout to Lil Dicky, okay? Who many years ago, and I think he talked about this with Zayn on Apple Music. Dicky's very talented.
Extremely.
Okay? Has success. When I met Dicky, I thought I saw the humor in it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came at a time, and I straight up told him, he was like, you don't fuck with me because I'm white. I said, yes, because you think you're doing this rap shit as a joke.
We did talk about this.
I was like, there's
Yeah, we
something
did talk
about
about
it
that.
that just doesn't sit well to me because it's all joke and funny to you, but you get to choose when you want to be in this lifestyle
And when you don't. Yeah.
And so the problem is you get to use all these mannerisms and slang and all this stuff, but it's not going to like characterize your entire identity of people who look like you.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to choose when you want to come in and when you want to pop out, which takes us to the Michael Rubin conversation, where Michael Rubin is sitting down talking about, in his interpretation of what black people and black culture is about. Because Michael Rubin knows some rappers and he knows some athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So in his brain, he's looking at these people like, oh, this must be what black culture is about.
This is the
No.
the representation.
But that's a
yeah.
perfect example of like, yo, just because you know some rap shit or you know some athletes or you know a couple of rappers, you don't know black people.
And it's
Black people aren't a monolith where you just meet a couple of them. It's like, yeah, not all black people. You don't know all black people, bro.
And I think it's probably because the guys that he's around consistently are probably having these conversations about their own experience. And he's taking that and he's throwing a blanket across this entire thing we call black culture. And it's like, bro, that's not a representation. Like, we all don't go through that same shit. Yeah, we have our trials and tribulations, we got our problems, but we're not out hating on each other. There's a lot of us that are pulling each other up, looking side by side, like, here, I gotta play for you. I'm not hating on you. I can do this for you, just that and the third. So it's the conversations that it sounds like that he's having around these people are those things of like, yeah, this is hating on me, and this got beef with me.
But
And
it goes.
I'm like, bro, like, that's not it.
Right, but it
Give it
goes to what I'm
context.
specifically talking about.
Give it context.
Individuals who, and it's the racial component. Not saying Michael Rubin's racist, not at all. Not saying that, but racialization in this country and stereotyping and prejudging, which is prejudice, is something that many people do because you think because you met a couple of Jewish people that all Jewish people are like this. Or you met a couple of people from China, all Chinese people are like this. Or you know a couple of Jamaicans, all Jamaicans are. We all do these stupid ass things.
Yeah.
Right? But when Michael Rubin gets on a platform like The Breakfast Club and makes his comment, that's why he got so much backlash. Because people are like, A, what you're saying, we may agree with, wrong messenger, because you don't know all of us and you can't speak on behalf of all of us.
Say what he said though, because we didn't actually give context to what Michael Rubin.
Michael
actually
Rubin was
said.
speaking specifically about Meek Mill getting hate. for the Bunny Hop video and people calling him gay because of the Diddy stuff.
So what did I say? I said he's having specific conversations that's trying to label everything and everyone within the black culture, which is not fucking true. That's just one instant.
And he said,
let him get there.
He said, quote, "It's the one thing I've learned about black culture that I don't like is that black hate on hate."
So from everything I read and understand about Michael Rubin, and I don't know him. First of all, he's a billionaire, so me and him couldn't be.
I know him, and I know him.
He seems like a solid dude, right? The perception.
He's a nice guy. He's a great, positive, great guy.
But fuck all that, bro. What are you talking about? And this stems to another issue that we have too, and this is I'm black. I can speak on this.
You don't say.
You don't say.
We tend to give people passes. Be like, oh, that's the homie. He's cool. He can get away, whoop-de-whoop. Or because Michael Rubin,
there is no pass. You don't know all black people, man. It's like, bruh, that's like when people be like, nah, there ain't no N-word pass. There's no black person that can tell you it's okay to use the N-word in front of other black people. That doesn't exist.
Exactly. And my issue is a lot of times we let things slide. Because, oh, Michael Rubin, he's a nice guy. Or Michael Rubin,
but we're not letting it slide. That's the whole thing.
Jail reform and da-da-da. But I'm talking about as a bigger conversation. Stop letting things slide. Like,
but see, you're generalizing also because all black people don't let it slide.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, so who you talking to?
I'm generalizing. I don't care what your
you
intentions
on your Michael Rubin
are.
shit.
Leave him alone and let him generalize.
I don't care what your intentions are as a person. We got to bruh, what the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't work like that. Black on black hate, man. Michael Rubin, that's cool. Thanks for throwing the fanatics. You throw great parties. Sometimes you got to know when to step the fuck back. This conversation ain't for you.
But that's why he came out. I think that's why he came out and apologized, because he knew he was beyond his.
Speaking of,
what's that called? He got out over the end of his skin.
My intention was to show how important it is that we need to uplift each other, stop hating on each other, and push each other to win, and always root for each other's successes. Who the fuck is we?
It's like, bro.
We billionaires? No. Do we come from the same structure?
I think we is.
Oh, now he's in the black community?
No, I think when he put out his statement, I think he's talking about the general human experience. I don't think he was talking we as he was within the black culture. I think he was just saying that, and I think he actually even said like he shouldn't have spoke on what he spoke on.
And he shouldn't have. And I thank you for apologizing. Don't do it again. And other people that feel like you should be able to speak it, because it's like Ebro said. And another one of my issues I always have is outsiders think this whole thing's a monolith. And we are so many things. We are not all from the hood. Some of us are from the suburbs. Some of us like doing nerdy shit. Some of us like doing the cool rapper stuff you see on TV. Don't generalize our culture and then feel like you're an authority to speak on it because you got 2 or 3, 5, 10 black friends. It doesn't work like that.
Just next time say we as people in America, not we. Because
you're not sure who we.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck we is.
Yeah.
And we not. Yeah, so I don't know who that we shit is.
But y'all went to his Fanatics thing, though. Yeah,
we got the Fanatics. Yeah, Low was in there late night in the 40/40 Club pop-up, so he must not have been too mad about it.
Yeah, you was there. You was ready.
And did the red carpet, so he must have not been too mad about it.
I was never upset about what Michael Rubin said.
I was. I'm just saying, bro. It's not a we thing.
Y'all was the ones upset. I wasn't upset. I just
I'm just saying. Like, you gotta watch it. No, I'm saying you gotta watch it.
I was
upset. You gotta watch yourself. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you just watch yourself.
But no, Fanatics Fest was amazing.
No, it was dope.
It was. It was. I went. I took.
We didn't make this.
I took my daughter. I took my nephews. I rolled in. Who else? I saw Hove in there.
Bro, this nigga, he's so tight right now.
Why? Because he didn't get to. He was out at the Olympics. Ain't nobody worried about him.
No, he's mad because we just made this whole big idea, this whole big spiel about Michael Rubin speaking out of turn and this, that, and the third.
Y'all did that.
And then here we go talk about, Fanatics.
But we said kickback. We was with Michael Rubin.
I wasn't with him. I was with Lenny S and them. I was with, with Chase and Quavo. I wasn't with Michael. I ain't seen Mike.
Wait, who else was you with?
It was me, Lenny S, my man Sean Dickerson. We was in a little booth in the 40/40. Quavo was over there. I think Wale was there yesterday.
I hope they're cooking y'all in the comments right now. I hope they're cooking y'all, both y'all.
Two things can always be true. He spoke out of turn, but he threw a fire event.
Listen, let's rap with Complex's 50 best Atlanta rappers of all time.
Who wrote that list? Who wrote that list?
I don't know who the author was.
Complex wrote it.
No, they usually got the author. Yeah, they usually got the author.
It's not a bad list, honestly,
there's several people who worked on this.
And who are they?
I don't know any of these names, but shout to y'all for making a list that is becoming content.
It's
on
not a
this
bad
program.
list. It's not a bad list.
Go ahead, Eddie. Talk to us. What's on there?
Andre 3000, number 1. Okay. Number 2,
was
Future. I mean, Future isn't one of the most influential rappers
I want
ever.
to say Saha the Prince at 48 is way too low.
So number 3, T.I. Number 4, Gucci Mane. Number 5, Jeezy. I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm just gonna number 6, Young Thug.
Just do the top 10.
Number 7, Ludacris. Number 8, Big Boy.
Oh, they got Sean Paul from the Young Bloods at 40. I like this list.
9, 2 Chainz,
like the Young
and
Blood.
10, Lil Baby.
Cool
What's this shit?
Breeze, 39.
Look, man, we all do this thing when lists come out and everyone's like, oh, I can't believe. It is what it is, bro. That's not a bad list. Maybe T.I. is a little higher than people would think, but T.I. had a run, y'all. Like, y'all
Wait,
wasn't
why
outside.
would people be hot, mad at T.I.'s ranking, though? You
He's
saw
at
that?
number 7?
I have this theory with T.I. where there's a T.I. erasure that happens. Kind of like what goes on with
T.I.
the game,
what?
right? Erasure.
What's that?
So it's kind of like what happens with the
Erasure,
game, right?
like they want to change history, is what you're saying.
Yeah, right. So the game is held down the West Coast for like X amount of years. But when the pop out happens, he doesn't get invited. Someone just put together a mural in Compton. He's not on the mural. And because of the antics of the game outside of music, people act like the game wasn't hot. And I feel like the same thing happens with T.I. T.I. was one of the biggest rappers in the world. It does, bro. Because
T.I. hasn't done corny shit. T.I. hasn't isolated himself. T.I. hasn't done and said things against his own peers in Atlanta.
T.I.'s in cases, bro, of like.
All right, okay. And a lot of that shit got dismissed. So yeah, I get that, but the game will do shit against his own peers.
T.I. was talking about checking his daughter's virginity. Like, you're forgetting. Like, this is things that people got upset about. That happened, guys. Let's not act like it didn't. And because of the things that T.I.'s done that has nothing to do with music, and a part of it is because a lot of that music didn't age great for whatever reason in that particular era. Like, we don't run back a lot of that music. People act like T.I. wasn't one of the biggest rappers on the planet.
He went far. He had big hits, man.
He had plenty of big hits.
So, T.I. being number 3 checks out.
I agree.
Oh, you said checks out.
I'm defending T.I. You're the one saying.
No, I'm not. I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this list.
Yeah,
but then again, I'd love
list.
to hear from y'all that are more, listen, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I am a fan.
Does Andre belong at number 1?
T.I.
Does he belong at number 1 with no solo album?
He had a solo album. It was just
the list is best rapper, not biggest.
It's got to be biggest too. I'm pretty sure that's in
No,
there.
I'm sure metrics matter here.
Future ain't the best
because
rapper.
Future's not one of the best rappers.
Yeah, so it's probably all of it.
But Future's great at doing Future things.
He's
great.
But
he's not a top 2 rapper in Atlanta at all.
Yeah,
Speaking of blaming
Future.
artists for putting out mad music consistently over an extended period of time, Future's run.
Mm-hmm.
If you out here trying to keep up with Future, you're in trouble.
I think he's the only one that can keep up with Gucci Mane. I think.
And you gotta as far as like long runs of consistently putting out, you got Drake, Gucci, Future, Wayne,
Kanye in a different era, like.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like mixtapes, albums, features. Like Kanye
Ye was just doing those
his
albums or whatever they called it. But these is doing the
like
whole,
every other month type shit.
Yeah.
You're right.
And not only that, but Future is still consistently putting out material.
He just had two number 1 albums.
And then he's putting out another mixtape coming soon, and featured all over the place. So it's like he wakes up and just. You gotta put Thug on that list too.
He's on there. He's number 6. Yeah.
No, I'm saying like not on the list, but just like in that conversation of consistently just going.
Like when we talk about what has shifted the game to a way that people think that that's what they need to try to do to compete.
Mm-hmm. Thug.
You know what I'm saying? And which is basically landed us where we are right now, where people are just throwing shit out consistently and nothing's actually sticking.
I don't see the Playboy Cardi.
He's Playboy Cardi's big, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not saying. I never not be a fan. I never got it. Yeah, I just never got it.
You may not be a fan, but Playboy
Cardi.
I
see it. I just never got it.
I get you. A lot of this stuff I don't get, but I understand when I see it. Like, okay, cool.
Literally, you can go through this list of 50 rappers, and their styles are so different.
Yeah.
There's some similarities in there between certain people, but many of these rappers, I mean, not say all, but many have a very
Unique style.
clear, unique style that when they come on a record or may put out a record,
You know who it is.
You know who they are. And any region or anybody trying to come out needs to take this list and study this list. Because that actually, now thinking about it, has been one of the reasons that Atlanta has been so dominant in the game.
Because of these.
It's because they're offering a wide variety of different styles of rappers, sounds, and movements.
And these 50 artists are pretty much the epitome of that narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking at producers. Jermaine Dupri's at 17. You look, Lil Jon's at 18.
I had those two, I thought, as quote unquote rappers. Jermaine has, phenomenal bars and things on record, but he's more of a producer than he is a rapper. Like you're not gonna doubt him on a verse, but you're also not gonna put him up in certain conversations.
It is an interesting placement. Like with him and Lil Jon, like right there.
You gotta do it though. He's literally.
But yeah, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. You keep both of them right where they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid list, and yeah, to your point, being how diverse Atlanta is and always will be, you could look at this whole list and pick a style, and one's not gonna sound like the other.
I want to get to the comments this week from YouTube as we wrap. Shout to whoever put this up, JP9526. Lowkey talking about maturity, rocking an Oscar the Grouch sweatshirt.
Oh, that shit hurt, bro. That shit hurt.
And the reason I feel great reading that is because I remember Low used to troll people like George Clooney on Twitter and get.
He did.
And
he
so
did.
This is.
I never talked about George Clooney's outfit.
No, what did you say? What's your favorite tweet?
I said we were watching while I was watching the Golden Globes one night, and the host made a joke, and they panned to George Clooney, and he didn't laugh. I thought the joke was funny. So I said, hey, George Clooney, your haircut sucks, and so does your sense of humor. I'm on you all night, fuck boy. 12 years later, I'm outside chilling at a bar. My phone's blowing up. Apparently, this read it on Jimmy Kimmel's mean tweets. George Clooney reads my tweet.
And so I love that this is happening to you.
Yeah.
Can I shout
that's
out
karma?
I want to.
Yeah, it's just it works. I love how the universe spins.
Can I shout out Cool for Sale? Because Cool for Sale says stop doing a show without Eddie. Shout out to Cool for Sale.
Shout out to Cool for Sale.
Cut this camera off, bro, because this is fucking chains.
Why are you doing that?
No,
I don't like doing the show without Eddie.
He starts wearing chains and now he's like, don't do the show without Eddie. Ain't nobody, bro. You go to the Olympics one time and now just gold all over the place, huh?
For Eddie and Low, I'm Ebro. That's the Rap Life Review. We'll see y'all next week.
What's good, Nadeska here. If you made it through that entire episode of the Rap Life Review, that means you're really a fan. Hit that like button so we know it's real. Subscribe if you never want to miss an episode. And of course, if you really have something to say, drop a comment and we'll hit you back on next week's episode.